Hey everybody, what's up? It's Cincy Stripes back with another podcast, episode 3. We're going to go over a few topics today. We're going to spend a couple of minutes, probably a good decent amount of the show, talking about the Bengals and Browns game a little bit.
Do you want to call it a game?
it was a tough one to watch. We all struggled. Good thing we had softball afterwards, kind of took our mind off it for a little bit, and then after that I was right back into Twitter and getting into everything on there. But I guess we're going to get into it. Just by saying, I want to start off with Joe Burrow kind of sucked that game. Not his best performance. Definitely his worst of his career so far. Hopefully we don't have another one like that. And hopefully we can just move on to Baltimore and do better.
Yeah, I mean, I think, he had his worst game statistically. He didn't turn the ball over. You got to look at a little bit of the bright sides, right? But definitely, you can't play worse. I mean, what was he, 14 for 31 or something like that. So, yeah, definitely got to get better on that end.
You need to definitely have a big bounce back game right here this week in Baltimore. Or not in Baltimore, but in Cincinnati, but against Baltimore.
Yeah, home opener against Baltimore. Definitely need to have a bounce back game.
Especially since A.J. Green's going to be ruler of the jungle.
Yeah, the Ravens killer.
Yeah, couldn't have picked a better guy to represent this week.
Right. We'll go over A.J. Green in a little bit, talk about our favorite moments with him as a Bengal and the stuff he did against the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, there were, looking at that game against the Browns, I would say the only really bright spots we had were on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, it was 3-0, then 10-0, then 10-3, then 13-3 for majority of that game. It was close. I mean, 24-3 is the final, but we kind of know if you watched it, it was a lot closer than 24-3. I mean, Bengals were in that game. I mean, they kind of let it get out of hand there, obviously not being able to move the ball, but I think the defense played really well, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, Cam Sample stepped up huge. So I did some winners and losers and posted it on our TikTok, and Cam Sample was one of my winners. I think he played really well when he was rotating because our pass rush looked really well the first couple of drives, and then they were able to get 3 points on the board, and then our offense couldn't do anything. So eventually Chubb just took over the game. And our pass rush became irrelevant because they just got so tired and stuff like that.
And our two new safeties, Nick Scott and Dax Hill's not new, but he's definitely new to the starting role for the whole season. I mean, Nick Scott had that amazing pass breakup down the field. It saved the touchdown right there.
Cam Taylor-Britt had one.
Cam Taylor-Britt looked really good. Dax Hill, his numbers, he played about, I think, every snap on defense. He had a 2.9 passer rating when targeted. That's very impressive for your first game starting as a safety in a defense.
Yeah, he had a pick. I mean,
he allowed 1 reception for 6 yards. I mean, he had a pick.
You could see the speed. I would say that. I mean, yeah, there was some
fast.
Yeah, Pratt was all over the field.
Right, there were some
Wilson
big
was all over
plays.
the field.
The Browns did have some big plays on us. I mean, I'm not going to say that. Obviously, we didn't play perfect, but as far as just like getting to the ball, I mean, Pratt forced a fumble. We had a pick. We were getting to the football. I mean, obviously there's 24-3 is sticking in everybody's head, but there are some bright spots to look at.
It really sucks that we didn't get to score a touchdown. Like week 1, we're like one of the few teams that didn't get the score, but Burrow just did not look like himself at all. Like there must have been like some communication with the linemen and stuff.
Well, I mean that offseason, that offseason unlucky streak we have.
So are you guys on the take that they should play the preseason? What's your guys' take on that now that we've seen week 1 the last 2 years?
It wouldn't have mattered for Burrow.
It wouldn't have mattered for Burrow.
Yeah, because he was hurt anyways.
Hopefully next year he gets a normal off season. He can get some snaps in and chemistry before the season starts.
Now, didn't Zach say that it was the worst rain game he's been in?
In 10 years. He said in 10 years.
I don't know how much of that plays into effect. I mean, they just beat Buffalo 27-10 in that snowstorm, but.
And one thing to keep an eye on back on the defense is Awuzie didn't really he was going back and forth with DJ Turner. DJ Turner was getting a lot of reps, which kind of surprised me to see. I obviously thought he'd be playing this year, but I didn't think he'd be playing that much that early. But it's good to just obviously ease Awuzie back in. But I didn't know what your guys' thoughts on that was because I saw him the first couple drives and then I didn't really see much of him. Like back and forth, I saw a lot of DJ Turner.
I think it was smart, managing his workload and all that. I think Turner looked pretty good out there.
I do too. That's why I wanted to bring him up because he made a good impression on me.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. They had a couple of times where they had almost all their defensive backs on the field at once.
Yeah, they had Mike Hilton at safety.
They did, yeah. And
did they really?
Yeah,
I did not see that.
Yep.
I didn't see much. Jordan Battle probably didn't play much besides special teams.
I
didn't really see much.
I'd
on
have to look at the
defense.
snap
Yeah,
count.
he got like a handful.
Yeah,
of snaps.
I didn't know if you guys saw it or
I
not.
do know Wouzier was out until because me and Eric watched the game together, and he said, DJ Turner's in, and he said something about a Wouzier playing the slot. I'm like, oh, I was like, well, that's a little bit of a different
yeah.
defensive look, and Turner I thought played pretty well.
Yeah,
in the snaps he had.
Yeah, he didn't look like it was his first time out there.
So Joe Burrow is now 1-5 versus Cleveland, and Zach Taylor is 0-5 in Cleveland, and he is the first Bengals head coach to ever do so.
We'll get it. We'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things.
I don't get it. Like in the Andy Dalton era, we always dominated the Browns. I guess obviously they had not as good quarterbacks, and they went through that.
I would say it's their
drafting.
defenses is what's the difference. I mean, they have a top 3 defense, and they've had a top 5 defense probably the whole length of Burrow's
Did
career.
You see how they were using Myles Garrett?
Dude, he was toying with them, man, dribbling up to the line of
That's
scrimmage.
what happens when you get Jim Schwartz matched with Myles Garrett to his full potential.
Me and Eric were. I'm like, Eric, I was like, you looking at this? I was like, Myles Garrett's lining up on Ted Karras.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think I've ever seen him line up on the center. And there's a few times it looked like he was dropping back.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a different kind of defense the Browns are running.
And their DBs, man. I know our wide receivers, obviously, they're dogs. Their DBs, they're no slouches.
Emerson,
I mean,
Emerson looked good against Higgins.
Ward looked good.
Yeah.
I mean,
they all looked impressive.
So, I mean, obviously can't take away too much from the Browns. You just got to have a short-term memory, which seems like we do against Cleveland every year. But we'll see.
And I thought our offensive line looked solid. I wouldn't say good. I wouldn't say bad. I would say solid. Orlando Brown Jr. against Myles Garrett was like 1 QB pressure, no sacks.
Yeah, I think the Browns had, I think I'm looking at right here, 2 sacks total. I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
Actually, I got some stats right here. The O-line gave up a sack, 5 QB hurries, and 13 pressures in protection. Mixon was one of those pressures. I mean,
you hear those stats and you think Burrow goes for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Right, you would think.
Off 1 sack? I mean,
he was also like kind of a little frantic, like he never really is. Like when he's his normal self, he was like moving around. Like I feel like that sometimes when that causes a little pressure, like he moves around to the wrong
first
side
play
or
of the
something
game, Irv Smith
doesn't really help the tackles when they're rushing the outside.
Missed a block on his first play, got pressure up in Joe Burrow's face, and
that goes back to the miscommunication. I think so.
Yeah,
that or is just a bad start on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just hoping miscommunication.
But I feel like our tackles looked good. Cordell Volson received a low grade for pass blocking. To me, it didn't look like he did that bad of a job. I did see him get put on his back one time, and I'm like, well, that's not a good look. But
I mean, Zadarius Smith on the first 3rd down of the game.
I mean, it's
also, can we talk about the Browns O-line? It sucked to see
Jack Conklin
go down,
Yeah.
but DeJuan Jones.
He's a good guy. He's a good player.
He looked good, though.
Suck to see that.
I feel like DeJuan Jones looked good.
He did look good.
But I guess he was also going against Hubbard. Hubbard's good, but like he's more of a run defender and run stopper.
DeJuan Jones, he's just huge.
He's
That's
just
what I'm
big. Yeah,
saying.
he's just massive.
I think he's going to be good.
That was a guy I wanted the Bengals.
I wanted the Bengals to get him too. He's going to be good.
He's very.
That's why I brought him up
because
because I really wanted the Bengals.
He's
to
just
get him.
he's huge.
And now we saw how he played really good, and I wish the Bengals would have snagged him.
Yeah.
That kind of leads to like, you guys just want to go ahead and talk about the Lyle cut.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean, yeah.
So
before we get to Lyle cut, we can talk about the rookies a little bit from what we saw from them.
Yeah.
In that Browns game, other than DJ Turner, who we've already talked about, but Brad Robbins, he did have 10 punts, and he was averaging, I think, 40 yards per punt.
Yep, 40 yards per punt.
It was a wet day.
Yeah, I mean
he got I think 2 bad snaps.
I'm giving him benefit of the doubt from the first game. That was his first pro game. That kind of weather.
10 punts is not ideal.
And 10 punts.
Yeah,
that's
dude, I mean,
like,
you're getting asked to do a lot.
Yeah.
Did you see? I loved his answer to like the interview question he was asked recently though. He had said like, "This is the AFC North football. Got to kind of get used to punting in this kind of weather and stuff like that." And I thought that was good mentality to have out of our punter.
And I think Charlie Jones should get it. I saw him getting a lot of criticism on Twitter with this punt return because he went sideline to sideline rather than just upfield. He did play for who? He played for
Purdue.
Yeah.
I mean, college is a lot different. With
the
punt
speed
returning.
is different. Yeah,
he's able to beat those guys to the outside. It's just a learning process. He'll get it. No worries there.
Week 1. I mean, he's a rookie
he
too.
didn't play much in preseason either, did he? Or did he?
I think he did. I think he played a little bit. Yeah.
He played.
He played.
But back to the Lyle cut. Very surprising move yesterday. I was just chilling, and then I received news.
Yeah, I thought it was more of like, what's their move here now? Because as far as depth goes, I mean, you're going to get a better backup than him. No.
That's
I
just
mean, at least I don't think you are.
my way of looking at it is they think they want to save the the salary cap and clear some space up, and maybe they believe in Carmen and Deontay Smith, and maybe Cody Ford, or has he been playing guard? I think he's been playing
Smith
guard.
and Ford are all in 1 year, right?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think we're gonna, we tweeted out. I think
They're going to be drafting one.
We're either gonna have to draft. I was trying to look at the free agents. I didn't really see anybody that you want protecting Burrow when we're trying to win Super Bowls.
I mean, a lot of faith in Jonah this year too. Then I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
That kind of shows.
Do you guys think we might be extending him or no? Or do you think he's just
it's possible?
It's too early to say if we want to extend him or not to be our franchise right tackle, considering we've only seen him play one game as right tackle.
Do you think he wants – I know he obviously was saying he wants left tackle money and all this, but now that he's kind of seeing that he's going to be a right tackle.
Well, from what I heard in his preseason interviews, he said there's only 64 tackle spots in the league.
Yeah, I mean
he's like, I'm blessed to have at least one spot on a team.
On a top 3 team.
Yeah, on a Super Bowl contending team. So I think he's looking at it as a very good opportunity, maybe for his free agent show teams what he can do. Very versatile. Hopefully he plays well with us and we can keep him around. He's only 25 years old.
Yeah, he's still young.
He was Zach Taylor's first draft pick. So, I mean it would mean a lot if he could stay.
They want him in the building. I mean, and we as fans want him in the building.
Parker Blake did his own O-line grades. Yeah, shout out to Parker Blake. Love his stuff on Twitter. But I mean, he had Jonah Williams graded as the Bengals' highest offensive lineman in both in just the run game. I don't think he did too bad pass blocking, but he does face some pretty good pass
the Bengals
rushers.
actually didn't run the ball too bad this week. I mean, Mixon averaged 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, it was 4.9.
Yeah, I mean,
I think everybody on Bengals Twitter was saying run the ball.
Limited attempts.
We tweeted it out a couple times. Run the damn ball, Zach.
I mean, I know we just got done talking about
what was
week
he
one,
rushing? What was he averaging per carry?
I think
Mixon?
like 4.5 or something like that.
It was like 4.6, 4.9, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't doing bad. I mean, obviously you want to throw the football, and we got down, so they were trying to throw the football, but we just couldn't move the ball.
What I don't understand is we kept running it to the right side.
Yeah.
Towards Jonah Williams. I wish we kind of flipped it, running
and let Orlando kind of.
Just because Orlando, he's a better run blocker than he is pass.
He's just an athlete too. I mean, he's a big dude. Like he can move.
Yep.
Like pull him.
That's what we should have been doing. And then I don't know if it was the game plan that we had planned out. I thought the weather in Cleveland was going to get better after halftime. It didn't. Rain came back.
Yeah, I mean,
it probably changed up
Zach's
absolutely. Entire game plan.
Going into the next week, though, I know we talked about it a little bit. The A.J. Green rule of the jungle. Kind of want to get into some of our favorite memories.
Oh yeah, let's lead it off on this one, Gare. So my favorite memory from so I was going through all of his highlights, and this one I remember watching back 2014 Week 1 in Baltimore. Funny enough, he had 6 catches for 131 yards, but the best part was the game-winning 77-yard tip. Up, he caught it and then he tipped it up between Baltimore defenders and caught it again and juked him out for a touchdown with 5 minutes left, and they won 23-16.
Yeah,
and that was just my favorite memory of AJ.
Yeah, he wasn't really a big animated guy, but it seemed like against the Ravens he was very animated. I mean, obviously he played some of his best football, so kind of leads into it. But the dude was always animated against them. I mean, obviously get the nickname Raven Killer, but kind of thing. I guess mine would be kind of some trickery. 2015 Bengals. Sanu to Green, 73 yards to the house. He had many great plays that I liked, but I mean that was just.
I remember watching
that
play live.
Yeah, I think we watched it at your house together.
Watching it at the house, and I was like,
"What's going on?"
I was
because
once it went to Sanu, I was like, "All right, is he just flipping it back, running the ball?"
Yeah. Shout out to Sanu. I mean, his QBR is insane.
And then you see him drop back. You're like, "Oh, who's he throwing to? It's got to be Green, right?" And lucky enough, Tutty.
Yeah.
My favorite AJ Green moment was against Baltimore in Baltimore. He had 10 receptions for 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think that's really when he earned the nickname Raven Killer, because he broke that's when he did that spin move down this.
Yep.
It was like
Yeah.
an 80-yard touchdown to that spin move between
It's
two
like
defenders.
their defenders like
He,
took
he
each
crossed
other
them
out.
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like,
took
yeah.
each other out.
That's
and-
definitely one of my favorite AJ Green moments. Or his first, not one of his. I think it was his first game or home opener. It was versus the Bills, I believe. He had like reached back, used his whole body length to make an amazing down the field catch.
Yeah, I mean, we've been definitely blessed with some, great receivers back to back to back. I know we talked about it last week, but speaking of AJ Green, it just kind of, we're lucky.
Ruler of the Jungle. He was definitely the perfect pick for Ruler of the Jungle to open up home against Baltimore.
My favorite moment is, you went to this game, Jordan. It's when he had 3 first half touchdown receptions.
Oh, was that the Thursday night game?
Thursday night, yeah.
Yeah. That was a fun game. We some Baltimore fans sat behind us, and they were pretty cool people. Not often do you run into some division opponent fans that are cool at the game.
Especially when
in
you're
your
getting
house.
3 touchdowns hung on your head by the one guy in the first
Yeah.
half.
Yeah. We encounter different fans, and so far, I think over the last 2 years, the best fans we've encountered are Dolphin fans.
Yeah.
Dolphin fans are really nice. The guy that was sitting behind us, he brought his own little challenge flag and yellow flag and stuff like that. He was a really cool guy. It was a really fun moment.
I'll always miss. So I just sometimes watch AJ Green highlights whenever it's like late at night.
Dude.
I think Jordan tweeted it out, and he's like, late at night, I can't sleep watching AJ Green highlights. Sometimes I do.
Don't
just- there's
text.
Like those,
Watching AJ Green highlights.
There is those players sometimes where like you just go back and you watch their highlights.
dude,
you're like,
that's-
man, I miss watching.
I mean, that was our middle school, like
That's when we
Our
really
prime
started.
Yeah,
young
days
high
of
school,
watching,
like AJ
starting to
Green,
watch.
Dalton. Like obviously, that's the team that we grew up watching. I mean,
Yep.
that's who it is. I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
I mean, speaking of Baltimore, I guess we got to talk about how important this game is. We started off 0-1 already, 0-1 in the division also, and we got to face another division opponent. We started off 0-3 last year, but I think this game is very important. It is your home opener. Burrow's coming off of one of his worst games ever, as football career standpoint. I think we got to come in, smack them in the mouth.
You got to win. You got to make a statement, especially we'll get to it, but their injury report, like with how the guys that they have banged up, you got to come in home. Like it's your first home game. You just got smacked by another division opponent. You can't let this team come in to your home house and your home opener and beat you. You got to handle business and take care of it.
Yeah, I think that was a wake up call. I mean, Jamar's calling them elves, obviously, joking around, but coming into week 2, 0-1, you don't want to start out last year, 0-3 in the division. Not where you want to be. It's an uphill climb the whole season after that. You come out here and you take care of business at home. I think that's on their minds. After that game, I guarantee they went right back to work. It's what they do. And I think they're going to come take care of business this week.
For sure.
I think I saw that Baltimore's outside corners have led up like 137 receiving yards.
This season already?
Yeah, this season already. So
Who'd they play? The
Texans.
Texans.
I mean, they got good receivers, but not like our caliber receivers. And Marlon Humphrey, he was on the injury report today. He didn't participate. He was out with a foot injury. And their safety, Marcus Williams, is out with a pec. And I think
Stanley. Is
and I
on the
think
injury
Harbaugh
report.
said that Williams is going to be out a couple weeks.
And Linderbaum.
And I
Yeah,
think Williams out for a couple weeks.
And a good thing for the Bengals, too, is we should be getting some guys. I mean, not guys back, but another week of
Did
some guys that
Osai
have been
practice
hurt.
today?
Osai did
back.
practice today, yes.
You think
Yeah.
he's gonna play this week, or they'll just for precautions send him this week?
I think if he's good to go, they play him. I think
Yeah, we'll probably play him. I see us playing him.
a Woozy snap count goes up.
Yeah.
Like I think we're gonna start seeing
By
some
like
of our
week 6,
bigger guys
6 to 8,
back
he'll be
ramped up.
playing full 50%, maybe before then, but
Sai?
no.
Woozy, yeah, I'd say by week 6 he'll be
Like
back
a
to
full
full.
100%.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they're just
I
gonna
mean-
slowly ramp him up.
Yeah, Wuzia was limited today, so I mean, I would.
Who-
It's
Who's running the ball for
I
Baltimore?
know Justice Hill had 2 touchdowns last week.
Is that
and
who's
I
going to be their
think
running
they
back one this
have,
week?
Gus Edwards as
Gus,
well.
oh yeah, Gus Edwards.
and they still got
I mean Lamar obviously too, but
their center Linderbaum. He's out. He didn't practice today with an ankle. Their left tackle Ronnie Stanley.
That's
didn't
what I'm saying.
practice
We
today
got to
with a
win this
ankle-
game.
with a knee.
Mark Andrews I think he's playing, but
He's gonna
he's still. I mean, coming
He
off an
wa-
injury.
He was limited today
Yeah.
at practice, coming off with that quadricep injury.
So I mean,
This is a game you have to take.
yeah, you got to
I
come
mean,
back.
I know if we lose, there won't be much panic, especially from that locker room. But from a football standpoint, I don't want to start off 0-3 how we did
Yeah.
last year, and then the last 2 seasons it seems like we have to go on a mid-season run.
Yeah, it's up a hill. We're up the hill, right?
I hate starting off down and then working up. I'd like to start off up, continue up.
What do you think? Like some of the keys for this week are going to be?
Definitely
Containing Lamar.
containing Lamar.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers look good.
If
He's
Mike,
quick,
Flowers
man.
might-
if
He is
Mike is
quick.
if Mike's on him, then we might have a problem.
Maybe I'm
I
starting.
think we'll be
to-
running some zones.
Definitely some zones. I definitely see more of DJ Turner this week.
Yeah, that speed that I've been talking about is going to get tested.
That's
Zay
what I'm
Flowers is a
saying.
quick receiver.
I love Mike, but he ain't gonna be able to keep up with Zay Flowers.
Yeah, you just that's the thing is, I mean, they like to run a spy when we play the Ravens, right? It's kind of Pratt. Does he or is it? I think we run a
It's
spy.
been like it was like Pratt, Wilson, and then sometimes on like the big I think Hubbard does sometimes too. Like some linebacker or
Yeah.
D line, like him and Hendrickson sometimes do as well.
We could see something different. We could see like
Yeah.
DJ Turner.
Yeah.
Cause that dude's quick.
Dude, yeah, I mean,
Maybe run some cover 3 with Dax Hill spine.
See
or
Dax
something,
and
you know what I
Jordan
mean?
battling
That'd be cool,
or
yeah.
something.
As Nick Scott is our primary, safety, and
Lou's definitely probably
Cooking.
He's
cooking
a-
something.
he's
Yeah,
cooking.
the dude's a scientist back there with the defense.
yeah. I mean, you kind of want to go ahead and do our parlay since we're talking about the Ravens game.
Yeah, let's go ahead. You lead off.
Yeah, I mean, rough week for the parlay last week. Obviously,
Rough week.
oh,
For
0 for
everything
4.
for the Bengals.
0 for 4. Scratch it. It doesn't
Not gonna
count.
hit- not
Doesn't
gonna hit-
count.
Not
You
gonna
know,
hit
we're
anything. Not
throw it in the
gonna hit-
garbage.
We're not gonna
Fresh
hit
start.
anything unless you take all the unders, but
Ugh.
we're not gonna take the unders.
Nah,
on
we
boys.
don't do that over here. So obviously I'll start out with my 2 legs. He had 30. Yeah, I think it was 39 yards last week. It's not going to cut it for the numbers that he's projecting for himself. That's obviously Jamar Chase. I think I'm going to go with anytime touchdown scorer for him. And then like we talked about, Bengals got to bounce back. You're home. I'm taking them -2.5. So my 2 legs are Jamar Chase anytime touchdown scorer and Bengals -2.5.
And I'm bouncing off that Jamar anytime touchdown, and with him having a touchdown, he's gonna have to have a big game. He's gonna have over 76.5 receiving yards. I think it's a big Jamar and Burrow game. Well, I think it's just Burrow, Higgins,
Yeah.
Jamar, big game overall. And then I also have Burrow over 263.5 passing yards. So hopefully we get 4-0 on that, and that's our Cincy Stripes parlay for the week.
Yeah, I mean Sunday it's supposed to be 78 and sunny. So
Oh, that's beautiful.
beautiful day for passing the football.
Awesome day. We're gonna kind of hop into some other NFL type stuff instead of just focusing strictly on the Bengals right now. I just want to bring up Aaron Rodgers. That was really devastating to
Man,
watch.
that sucks.
I love Sauce Gardner. I like that Jets defense. Watching Hard Knocks,
Dude,
get
right?
a
You
little
kind of were
bit
like,
a
let's
connection.
go. Like,
They are an AFC opponent, but I mean,
Imagine having Rodgers in like all of your parlays.
shout out FanDuel.
absolutely.
The only ones that didn't give me my refund.
I grew up loving Aaron Rodgers. Like that dude is always been just so dominant on the field. The way he just played was awesome, and to see him get a new vision with a new team where he seemed thrilled.
And they want like they
He
were
was
they
so
were
happy. Like
they wanted him. Like they were calling him the big man. Like he
Yeah.
was embraced there. It seemed like the Packers obviously loved him, but they didn't. The Jets, like you were saying, they embraced him. Like
they he was their savior.
Yeah.
He was. The Jets last year had a top 5 defense, and they couldn't do anything because of their offense. They couldn't get points up on the board, and they were struggling and turning the ball over. I'm not saying it's all strictly Zach Wilson's fault.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can take a leap this year with Rodgers kind of in his ear a little bit, and with,
with
the offseason work that they got. Hopefully he can make a big leap, take this Jets team somewhere. Obviously against us, I want them to lose if
Yeah.
it comes down to the playoffs. But
Yeah, I mean, you just were football fans at first. I mean,
Yeah, did you see? They talked about on Good Morning Football that their coaches literally were up all night, so devastated because of obviously Rodgers.
dude, I mean,
getting
let's
hurt
be
just like that.
real. I mean, that team is from roster to top to bottom is loaded.
Yeah.
You bring in Aaron
Very.
Rodgers, that team is a perennial. I mean, they're a Super Bowl contending
I mean,
team.
their biggest
You have
question mark.
playmakers everywhere.
Their biggest question mark was offensive line.
Yeah.
It seemed like it
They were older. Yeah, I
bit
mean,
them. which I heard Aaron Rodgers told the O-line coach and the play caller, no cut blocks. No cut blocks because if you do cut blocks and I only have one throw option, I can't extend the play because defensive end obviously can make a play on that afterwards. And he got hurt with the left tackle doing a cut block. Leonard Floyd got around it, was able to sack Rodgers. So, I mean, that's just what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
But it is just devastating to see that caliber of a player and get a new start, a fresh start, and then it end in 4 plays.
Oh yeah, that was the biggest thing. It's like it would have sucked even
At
worse. Obviously,
home,
any
too, in
injuries
front of all
suck.
your
But
fans.
dude, your first drive, 4 plays in, like that's horrible. I mean, you can't script that.
No.
Other than the Aaron Rodgers news, I mean, I was watching that game, and I thank God we have Lou Anarumo.
Yeah.
I will say the Jets only won because of Josh Allen's mistakes.
I mean, the Jets' defense is that good to be able to win them
Josh
football
Allen
games.
threw 3 balls directly to
Yeah, Jameer Whitehead, man.
Jordan Whitehead.
Jordan Whitehead, sorry.
Jordan Whitehead. Directly to him. I mean, it wasn't even – and he fumbled a snap. It was all on Josh Allen, that loss, completely. I thought their defense played well. Zach Wilson did have a good drive to get a touchdown to Garrett Wilson. I mean –
He threw the one ugly pick, and after that, I think he responded really well.
Yeah, that was.
Yep.
I mean, coming in there too, the pressure that dude was probably feeling. I mean, 4 plays in, you don't think you're playing the night. 4 plays in, Rodgers gets hurt. Now the whole season's on you.
Yeah,
like,
he's gonna
my
start
God.
all year. No Kaepernick, none of that. They're gonna bring in a backup. They said they are looking at least.
Any other games kind of catch your guys' eye?
we can go over some of our picks this week real quick.
No, I meant like week 1. Any kind of games you guys watch that kind of caught your eye?
No, because we had softball on Sunday afterwards. After the Bengals
I would
game.
say that the Dolphins-Chargers game would be it, but
We
And
kept
can
up
we
with
please
that,
stop putting the Cowboys and Giants on the first Sunday Night Football?
yeah.
It is
Please,
just-
NFL.
Yes,
Stop.
they do it every year, and it's just.
I
like,
turned that game off because
That's what I'm saying.
it was like watching a varsity football team against a 6th grade middle school team.
Giants can't move the football.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just that Dallas defense.
We'll
see.
I don't know.
We'll
it
see.
looked a lot like the Giants were just a very bad football team.
They couldn't move the football. I mean,
Danny Dimes got
Good
that
move.
bag, and he said, "Yes, sir."
All right, we're gonna go game by game for week 2. See what we got for picks. We have the Vikings and the Eagles coming up. I'm gonna take the Eagles.
I'm going Philly. Yeah, that's
Definitely
clean
gotta go
sweep
Philly.
Eagles.
Baltimore, Bengals.
Taking the
Do we
back.
have to say it?
clean sweep. Clean sweep.
Also, my prediction for that game is 31-20 Bengals.
I don't even want to give a prediction.
I'm not even gonna do that. I got
I'm not doing that.
should have got clown for my prediction last week.
No,
I'm gonna see how many I can get perfectly predicted. Probably 0.
my
but
fiance clowned me on my prediction when she watched our show. She said, "You said, I forget what my prediction was." She's like, "You said that, and they lost by 21." I was like,
Yeah,
"Listen,
it was a
I was
rough,
like,
rough week.
Thanks, bro.
I was like,
It's all
"Listen."
Jordan's fault.
Yeah, it was
I was
a
like,
rough week. Okay.
"Listen." She's like, "They got spanked." I'm like, "We're moving. We're on the Baltimore. We're on
On to Baltimore, baby. I
on
love
the
it.
Baltimore." Seahawks Lions.
This is my upset of the week.
I'm going with the home team.
Give me the Seahawks, baby.
Give me Detroit.
Seahawks. I'm the lone dog over here.
Where's the lone wolf mask, baby?
Yeah,
Aroo!
Put it on
Seahawks.
my head.
Both their tackles are out this week. I think.
all right,
So
when
I think
Seahawks win,
Aiden Hutchinson's gonna eat.
clowning in the comments.
All right.
Colts Texans. I'm gonna take.
I'm riding with the Colts.
I'm gonna ride with the Colts.
Colts.
I'm going Colts too.
They put up a good fight.
They look
against
good, man. They actually look
Jacksonville.
good. Yeah.
Jacksonville's a good team.
Jacksonville's a very good team, but I thought Anthony Richardson.
That's what I'm saying.
was
They
managed
look-
that game
good.
well.
They look good. I mean, obviously not. I don't think like playoff team good or anything like that, but a competitive team.
Definitely competitive. Anthony Richardson got me some good fantasy points, other than Mr. Joe Burrow. Four whole fantasy points I got from him.
His single nickel. It's all right.
Bears and Buccaneers. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers. I thought the Bears looked like a very
I am
poor
also
football
taking the
team.
Buccaneers.
Yeah, like I told Colton earlier. People forget the Bears had the first pick last year.
They
So,
did.
They
really
They
did.
were not a good football team last year, and they're probably not going to be a great football team this year.
Gary
so.
said if they get the first pick, what do you do? If they get the first
Caleb
pick again, you
Williams.
trade again, or you just take
Caleb
Caleb
Williams.
and you trade Fields.
For the
or
Bears?
Yes.
You trade
Dude,
the pick again.
name a quarterback who's had more time as a starter than Justin Fields. Like more time to show what he can do. He's had 2 full seasons.
Yeah, he didn't look good either.
I
on
know, but can
Sunday.
Caleb Williams save that defense though?
Yeah, no.
Are you going to take a defensive player at the first
defense is
pick
a
with
big
Caleb
problem for
Williams in
them.
the draft, though?
Well, I'm saying it's just a tough one. If I'm Caleb Williams, I'm avoiding the draft.
He
Oh,
said
I forgot he's doing that. I forgot he's doing that.
He said he would have.
Bear down.
That is messed
I
up.
wouldn't do it.
I
But,
don't even know if I'd want to pick him
At
because
that,
of that mentality.
his dad said that, so who knows if it's really. Caleb
But then
Williams.
he came out and said he just wants to play football and win.
Yeah.
So
Also, Baker Mayfield looked pretty good against the Vikings.
Tampa fits him.
You guys know me. I've always been a big Baker Mayfield
You
guy.
have been.
Coming out of Oklahoma, it sucks seeing him going to the Browns.
I
but-
saw that at halftime. He was telling them like he knows like what all the Vikings like signals and calls.
Man
are.
said, get your weight up.
He said in a quote, I think he said it today or yesterday. He said, "I'm a Texas Rangers fan, not a Houston Astros fan," because he talked about how he knew the play calls for defense.
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm a Rangers fan, not an Astros fan." I'm like the
Sports guy.
sports guy.
guy.
Sports guy. Chiefs Jaguar. Oh,
I haven't made my pick yet.
we're gonna skip them.
I'm gonna take the Bears.
All right,
Okay.
that's your
I think
upset
they
of the
can
week.
On
do
the
it.
road, I like it.
I think
That's
they
your
can do
upset
it.
of the week.
Okay.
All right. Me and Eric both have an upset of the week.
I do have
you
Justin
too?
Fields in a fantasy league, so I mean, hopefully.
He ain't gonna do much.
Hopefully.
Don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Chiefs and Jaguars. I'm gonna take the Jaguars at home.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I don't think the Chiefs lose 2 in a row.
But at
I
the
think
same
that's ga-
time,
I think
you look
that's
at
game-
those
I think that's
weapons, and
game
you're
of the
like,
week,
bro,
though.
You look at those weapons, you're like,
Kadarius Toney.
Kelsey's back.
oh, okay, yeah, Kelsey is back. But
Chris Jones is back. I think they don't lose 2 in a row. That's just my opinion, my thinking.
I
you,
think
you
I think
can
they
hit
do.
Kelsey 100 times.
You
They're
think
gonna
they
hit
do?
I'm
Kel-
taking Jacksonville.
I'm taking the Chiefs, but
Taking
they're gonna
Jack-
hit Kelsey 100 times if they have.
I
to
hope
to win the
Jacksonville
game.
wins.
Did you
but-
guys
Yeah,
not
me
see?
too.
Did you guys not see Calvin Ridley?
No, I did. But I also saw
That
that.
is true.
I also
Their
saw
offense
that.
might torch
I mean,
their
did you not
defense. but
see?
I
Chris
mean,
Jones might
Colts.
get
The
the
Colts put up
benefit.
21 on them.
Yeah, that's true.
Chiefs are gonna put
But
up
did you not
41.
see the
Oh.
Chiefs tackles?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
They-
but he
they're gonna beat
jumped
'em.
off sides. But I mean, Mahomes still.
They're gonna beat them.
If
They're gonna
if the
beat 'em.
Chiefs receivers don't drop those footballs, it's a different story.
It
Chiefs
really is.
receivers won.
Kadarius
Just
Toney probably
Kadarius
has
Toney.
20 fantasy points for me, and I win my fantasy league.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes puts up a little more for me too, but
Packers and Falcons. I'm gonna take. This is tough because I'm a big Desmond. I love Desmond
riding
Ritter.
with the
You know, he
Pack.
was a UC guy.
Go Pack, go.
go Pack, go.
I thought Bijan
Jordan
Robinson
Love.
looked good.
He's better than Desmond.
I'm gonna go with Packers. I thought Jordan Love. I thought the Packers, their offensive line looked the best.
He looks solid. I
But he's
mean,
about to get another
this
2
weekend.
picks, though.
dude, I like seeing Bakhtari back out there, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's a great player. So
They-
you two got the Packers.
Yeah,
I
I
got
got
the
the
Packers.
Packers.
What do
I
you
do
got?
think.
Taking the Packers.
We're all go Pack go this week.
I think there's a lot of I'm not gonna say like easy picks this week, but I would say like there's some teams that some should be wins this
It's
week.
heavy, like 65, 30.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say it's more odd.
Yeah,
like that.
definitely.
Like a lot of kind of heavier favorites.
Raiders and Bills. I'm gonna go with the Bills. I think they're gonna have a bounce back week.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm
Josh
taking the
Allen's-
Bills, but I wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy G pulls something out of his butt.
Yeah, I'm just taking. They're home too. I mean,
For some reason, I always bet
You
against
gotta take
Jimmy
the
G, and
Bills.
he just
Yeah.
proves me wrong for some reason every time.
that man wins though.
That's what I'm saying. He's a winner. He proves me wrong every time. I'm like, Jimmy G's just not that good. And
Yeah, Jacoby Myers
wins.
looked really good.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Yep. Chargers and Titans. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I thought the
yeah,
Titans looked
Chargers are gonna be
terrible.
Chargers, man, the
and
the
Chargers
kings
are
of
gonna be mad
losing the
after
shootouts.
after they lost last week.
I mean, I had Tennessee
They're the
winning
Kings,
last week,
man.
and they looked horrible.
Yeah, we
Ryan
know you did.
Tannehill. It's
He doesn't want to be there.
No,
He does not want to be
Get him
there.
out.
No,
Who they got? Will Levis? Is that who their backup is?
Yeah.
no, their backup's Malik.
Is
Willis.
it?
Willis
Malik is the backup,
He's
so
on the
Will's the
practice
third.
squad. Or is he on the practice squad, or is he just
I
the
think he's
third
on the roster.
quarterback? Just the
think he's on the roster.
quarterback.
I think they have 3 quarterbacks. Yeah.
Respect to them.
49ers, Rams. I'm gonna take 49ers, but the Rams surprised the hell
Matt
out of
Stafford,
me.
man.
Taking the 49ers, that's like a 9.5 point spread.
Dude, the Niners looked untouchable last week.
And the Rams pulled out a receiver I've never
I mean,
even
Pittsburgh's
heard of.
defense is good, and they put up 30 with
Nakura.
ease.
Not Nakura.
Patrick Peterson said he was gonna get a pick off Brock Purdy.
Yeah, did you hear what
Yeah,
Purdy
them-
said? He's like,
Pur-
wasn't that second touchdown on Peterson?
Yeah, that was a good one. So clean sweep with the 49ers.
yeah, clean
Yeah.
sweep.
Yeah.
Giants and Cardinals.
I'm taking the Giants.
Giants got to bounce back, right?
I'm
They-
taking
they
the,
got us
I'm
at
taking
one point.
I'm taking the Giants
They'll be able to at least just hand the
because
ball
they
to
at least have
Saquon.
Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They can at least just hand the ball to Saquon. Like that, the Cowboys D line, they ain't rushing Saquon over.
And they got down early. They were had
Cardinals
they had
line,
to throw.
who I don't even know anybody on it.
Give me the
after
Cardinals.
JJ. All right, that's your upset of the
okay.
week.
Give me Cardinals. That's upsets. Two very terrible teams.
It's
It's
like
still
a
like
6-point
spread on the road.
That's money talking. That's money talking.
Sure.
I thought Cardinals looked all right against the Commanders. Commanders have a pretty good defense.
I would say that. Nah, I mean, I don't think the Cardinals
Commanders
are good.
don't really have that.
I'm not. I was gonna give you that, but then I was thinking like, nah, can't do that. Can't give you that
Chase Young
one.
didn't
Can't
play-
give you that
didn't
one,
play.
man.
This next game's gonna be an easy pick. Cowboys, Jets.
Cowboys.
That Cowboys defense looked.
As long as it's the same Cowboys as last week.
I mean,
Dak's got their 3 picks to Whitehead.
Micah Parsons. I mean, he has a real shot of putting up MVP numbers this year if it doesn't go to a quarterback.
Hopefully it does. Number 9 in Cincinnati.
Oh,
But he might need. He just needs to bounce back.
He needs a great bounce back.
Commanders, Broncos.
I'm going Broncos.
Broncos.
Russ looked good actually.
They gotta
Broncos
win
looked
one.
rad.
Sean Payton's got to get us.
He looked good, man. Russ looked good.
Ballsy move by Peyton to start off
Onside?
with an
Yeah.
onside kick.
They almost got that.
Oh yeah, but they were
They
legal
literally
touching.
got it, but
They got it illegally. There's a flag on the play.
Yeah.
that wasn't. It wasn't like illegal touching. It was something.
Hey guys, we're back again. Another technical difficulty this time with video. We'll get
Something
it.
different every time.
Something different every time.
Rolling with the punches.
We're rolling with it. We'll get it though.
Yeah.
We're gonna start off where we left it a little bit. We're gonna finish our game picks. Dolphins and Patriots. I get the Dolphins.
I also have the Dolphins.
I'll take the Fins.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins, but I think it's gonna be close
I
Close.
don't think it will be close.
in New England.
Nope.
Saints, Panthers. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I feel like they can put up a better fight than what the Panthers can.
Yeah, I think Saints are gonna be a lot better. I mean,
I'm rocking with
pretty
DC
easy record.
and the Saints, baby.
I think the Saints looks pretty good against Tennessee, so I can see them beating Carolina.
Browns, Steelers.
I love that it's 2 Monday night football games.
Hopefully
again.
Pittsburgh.
If only 2 teams could lose
And
one
I'm
at
taking the
once.
Browns.
Only 2 teams could lose.
Taking
Um,
the Browns. Pittsburgh's offense isn't going to do anything against Jim Schwartz's defense.
Yeah, I'm going
I'm,
Browns.
I'm going to go Browns.
All right, guys, as we're finishing up, we're going to give our shout-outs like we always do. I'm going to shout out Jungle Streetwear. He made this hat. It's awesome products. Go check him out. Awesome Bengal stuff. Also going to shout out Bangalorean. He's an awesome guy on Twitter. Make sure you go follow him and Drew Garrison. Shout out to Drew Garrison. They're starting a YouTube podcast. I think it's called Blue Collar Bengals or something like that. Something similar to that. Make sure you go check them out. They're doing a jersey giveaway as well as us. Make sure to go to our X account, check out our giveaway. And we'll be back next Friday and every Friday after that with more content. See you guys later.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.